So YouTube, sitting on the camp. It's December the 9th, I think. Just trying out the new parang a little bit. Tell you what, as a primary knife, I really think I would prefer, I always prefer the larger blades, the parangs, the machetes. The hog's tooth is pretty about as small as I would want to go, and the actual cutting edge on it's 5.5, but they're overall from tip to handle is about 8, so, well, not 8, but 7, I think. But anyway, that's about as small as I would want to go. But that's me. I like large knives, and I think that once you get a large knife and learn how to use it, then a large knife will do more than a small knife will do any day. But a large knife will do what a small knife will do. Okay? You can always choke up on the blade and use it as a small knife if you wanted to. Or you could use it back here in the back. One thing about it is what I've said in other videos is a large blade will hurt you quicker than a small blade will because it has so much weight, and the weight of it will hurt you. I mean, it'll hurt you bad. So you got to take a large knife a little bit slower. It's a slower pace, and really watch what you're doing. So I got my smudge fire going, but the wind is playing on me. It was coming out of the east, now it's coming out of the north. So I hope that front don't get here early. But if it does, it does. We're not going to let little things like that worry me. So when you're trying to split a stick like this, you always have the knife up here at the top, so when the stick goes through, it jabs you in the hand. No, you work the blade back and forth. You don't shove on it. You don't put pressure on it. You just work the blade back and forth and ease the blade down to the stick. Once you get it to a certain point, then you can just split the stick apart. You don't drive the knife into your hand. And it's little things like that, whittling on a stick, and getting out in the backyard and practicing these things. That's one of the things that practice will teach you. It'll teach you how to whittle on a stick. It'll teach you how the blade cuts. And different blades cut different. Even if it's the same grind, there's an angle that you have to achieve and get used to in order to do fine cuts, fine shavings. You may want to do a spoon that requires polishing, and you have to learn how to make those little finesse cuts. See, something like that. But now, would I want to carve a spoon with a large knife? Yeah, I mean, it would do it. There's no doubt about it. Would it be the optimum tool to use? Probably not. Probably something like this would be the optimum tool to use for that. But as far as a belt knife, it's the 5 and 6 and 7 inch range that just, I really find it hard to justify that as a belt knife. I can take this machete, or not really a machete, it's a parang, it's a thick blade, and I can do more with it than I can with a belt knife. But I can actually do what I can do with a belt knife with this. So it's just more versatile for me in my area. Now, for you in your area, it may be totally different. And especially around here in the brush and thickness. I mean, this is pretty much open compared to what most of the areas are. I am really, really liking this handle. That rubber is just the thing for this. I mean, there's no vibration. I mean, you can whack all you want to with it, and there's no vibration. Just 2 whacks, and it's just through that stick. 3, and you got a point. You got a point. You got a point about it. Oh, too bad it's on the stick. And also, once you get used to a machete, if you think about it, I mean, make it a point to watch some indigenous peoples in the jungle, how they use machetes and parangs and stuff. I never really seen them use a small knife. I've never seen that. Maybe they have, and I just missed it. But I mean, they do everything with them. I mean, most of them have big machetes. Every once in a while, you'll see one of them use something about this size, maybe a little larger. But I mean, they do everything from their butchering to their house building to ground clearing to farming to, I mean, crafts. They build their traps and everything with a parang or a machete. So it's all in what you get used to. It's all in what you train yourself how to use it. You probably give them a small knife and they'd be lost. They wouldn't know what to do with it. But I'm really liking, I really, really, really like this parang. A woodpecker. Oh man, I love this. So peaceful still. No traffic. Lakes just like glass. I mean, this is December the 9th, and I'm out here in a short sleeve shirt. Now next week it may be snowing. You can't never tell. I'm actually out here hunting. Not right now, but I got out here the day before because I wanted to get out there early and sit on the stand. And that depends. I just wanted to camp. Believe it or not, this is the first time I've camped this year. Because first of the year I hurt my back, and I think it was February I hurt my back. And I mean, the first part of the year I couldn't do anything. I just barely could limp to the shop, and I finally got my shop renovated and the new shop put in place. And so I haven't been camping one time. This is the first time. A one-night camp. That is sad. We're going to put a stop to that. Not working too much. That's got to stop. Put my foot down. I'm going to tell my boss that he is working me too hard. That's bad when you're your own boss. You know, most people say, well, I wish I could have me an office right there at the house, or a shop there at the house, and there's work right there at the house. Well, it has its good points and its bad points. I mean, If it's right there at the house, it's very convenient. But the bad point is, it's right there at the house and it's too convenient. So you spend more time in the shop than you should. And it just, you never seem to get away from it, is what I'm saying. You look out the window and there sits the shop. Just glaring at you. Saying, why aren't you in here? You know you got all this work to do and you're not doing it. Don't you feel guilty? Or at least that's the way it does me. I mean, some people it may not bother them, but me it does. But what really bothered me was I was behind on orders here a few weeks ago, and that really bothered me. But now I got everything caught back up, so everything's back on schedule and back on track, so I feel better about it. You guys really should get a machete and just play with it a little bit. Try it out and see. Well, I think we need to try out different tools and just see how different tools work. Get familiar with different tools. Because you never know when you may be forced to use a different tool. And if you're only, I won't say confident, but if you're only used to using one certain type tool with a certain blade length and handle profile and grind profile, then you may be lost when you have to use somebody else's knife for any reason to do something, do a task. So I think we need to be familiar with all grinds and all blade lengths, because you never know. Yeah, well, I probably got too much time on this video now, so. You guys get in the backyard, whittle on a stick. Just play around with different knives, like I said. If you do, take plenty of band-aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again soon.